everyone and welcome to my studio. For those who follow me for a while, you can see I have a new background to my studio. It's I would say a little chicken, but it's a big chicken, always looking out for me. I've got it from Vazen Creative. It was on the stand of Creado from last year. Now, this video is about my new collection. It's a big collection with some bees, as you can see on my dress, and some other insects, some flowers, and you can combine that and make great projects. I will show you in a moment. First over in Dutch. Hallo lieve mensen, ik zei het net al even in het Engels. Ik heb een nieuwe achtergrond van mijn studio. Ik word de hele tijd in de gaten gehouden door deze mooie grote kip. Ik kreeg hem van Vazen. Hij hing achter de stand bij Creado. Ik ben er super blij mee. Maar deze video gaat natuurlijk over de nieuwe collectie. En dat kun je al zien aan mijn tante Betsy bijtjes. Bijtjes komen erin voor, maar ook allerlei andere insecten en bloemen om te combineren. Het wordt echt een super gave collectie. Tenminste, al zeg ik het zelf. Laten we gauw gaan kijken. Let's start by showing you the die cuts. These are the bloom die cuts. And here you can see how they look like. So you've got a big flower and a small flower separate, and they look like this. And I have two leaves and two leaves together, and this is a border. These are embossing lines, and here you can see it die cuts. So you can make like a border to your card. Let me show you. Here's an example I made. This is with vellum, and when you use an embossing tool you can get this result. It's a 3D effect. Let me show you how it's done. Here I've die cutted some flowers. You need a rubber mat, some embossing tools. So put it the other way around. Let me see. Shape it a little. And you can glue that together. And here I've used some Nouveau. That's this one. It's called Stone Drops, and this is a mustard jar. So that's the die cuts called Bloom. And this one is called Zoom. And these die cuts you can use with all the animals, all the insects as we call them. Here you can see it's a drip for the honey or other fluids, some small drips This is with the honey. And here's one separate. You can also use these that come out of this one. Here is a leaf that got bitten into, a third. And here you have a die cut in the shape of a heart. And here you can see a tag made with the die cuts of the Zoom collection with all the shapes of the honey. And here it says in Dutch, real men don't eat honey but chew on bees. So they're really tough. So let me show you the stamps. These are the bee stamps with different size bees and some words to go with it. Here you can see the stamps. For these ones I've used the wobbler die from an earlier collection. Let me show you. Here from the action set, that's number car 0001. These are the wobblers. You can cut it out of acetate and get a spring like this, as you can see, so you can let those animals move. Next one is the butterfly, and the butterfly has some larvae. You can see the stamps. Let me show you an example. Like this one, also use the wobbler die. And this is the die cut with this heart shape. And here I've cut out all the leaves from the balloon die set and put some leaves back. You get this result, and a leaf in his mouth. He likes chewing on it. So that's the butterfly. Then we have the firefly with a little jar and a lid. And here you can see the stamps. This stamp is with the text in it, but you can cover it and use only the jar, or ink only the text and use only the text. It gives a little bit more firm stamp like this. So let me show you what I made with these fireflies using this set of lights, LED starter kit. It has several lights in it with 2 white, 2 blue, 2 yellow and 2 pink LED stickers, 4 batteries and all the things you need to make this. And again, these examples I made with the lights. These were made with the pink lights, and this is the yellow light. Then over to the fly stem. That's this one with a big turret, a little fly, and a really sad one. It looks a bit sick. You can see the stamps. And an example I made is this one, also with a wobbler, like using it. Here I cut out the thirds and made another one. What I cut out of here, I've placed it on here to get this one. Not feeling so fly, poop happens. So these, the flies. Over to the bloom part of this collection, and the bloom part is with all the flowers. Here I've made some flowers on stems and a round edge, as you can see here. This is a big one, and these are all separate birds. Here I've made an example. I've painted it with some paint and used here for all the effects. I covered the circle with the Nouveau vintage drops and other colors. This is Pioneer Green. Then I've used some Duck Egg Blue, some whites called Simply White, and this is the clear version, the Morning Dew Crystal Drops. You get this effect. As you can see, this is also glossy. Here I've used a color stamp, a color ink, like these ones. They're waterproof, and you can make them shine when you go over it with a glaze pen. That's from Sakura. It's hashtag 850, and it gives a transparent glossy effect so that these letters pop out. So this is the round edge. We also have a square. That's this one, with some different flowers. You can make it look like this. And I've also made an example. That's this one, also with the paint, some background with distress ink, and also made an edge with those Nouveau drops, and give it a little shine on the letters the same way with other color ink. So that's the square and the round. Then I've made a background with the flowers. That's a real big one. Here I have an example. Here I stamped it and cut it out. And a little shine, as you can see, on the leaves of the flowers. And that's made with from Nouveau. It's called Aqua Shimmer Glitter Gloss 882. Hope you can see it. It gives a little shine. And on the inside
I've also used the Nouveau, this one with some glossy, just because. Because on all the stamp sets I've used some English words to use around the world, and I know that Dutch people appreciate it. I've also made some Dutch texts, so over in Dutch voor een moment. Omdat ik dus overal Engelse woorden bij alle stempels heb gebruikt, zodat ze over de hele wereld gebruikt kunnen worden, wilde ik speciaal voor jullie ook nog wat Nederlandse teksten erbij doen. Die kun je dus los gebruiken bij alle bloemen en bij alle bijtjes en de vlieg. En natuurlijk ook de vlinder en de bloemen. Dus wat heb ik gedaan? Vlieg je dromen achterna. Jij mug er zijn. En dit is een beetje een woordspeling van Engels-Nederlands. Let them a poopy smelling. Dus laat ze een poepje ruiken. Om je te bedanken, een bloemetje. Je had hem al voorbij zien komen. Echte mannen eten geen honing, maar kauwen op bijen. Jij hebt geen lampjes nodig om te shinen. Jij bent een glow in the dark. Een feestje. Hopelijk ben jij erbij. En de tijd vliegt. Weer een jaartje ouder. En in gedachten bij jou. Die zijn met alle stempels te gebruiken. Speciaal voor jullie Dutchies. Een embossing folder. The bloom one. With the flowers. And let me show you an example. And this one. Here I've embossed it. And I've placed over it a stencil. Let me show you. And here also the stencil. You can use separate or over these embossing flowers. Separate with the flowers. I've made this example. And here is the Zoom embossing folder with the little fly, the bee, the butterfly and the firefly. And here is an example. I've painted separate all these little bugs. And it says in Dutch, another year older, the time flies. And here, the last one, the stencil. And you have seen the examples for the backgrounds. Yeah, I've used the stencil. So now we've come to the end of this video. Hope you will enjoy my new collection, Zoom and Bloom. Here again the die cuts, and here we have the embossing folder. With the flowers and other little bugs. The stencils with the bugs and the flowers. Here the flowers with the square, the round edge and the background. Some Dutch words. The fly. The firefly. Okay. Yes. The butterfly. And the bee. I've really worked hard on this collection. It was so much fun to make, and I hope you will enjoy it. So, when you make something, please tag me at Cara Creates. I love to see what you will make of it. Let me know what you think about this collection. Put it over in the comments. And if you have any questions, also you can put it in the comments and I will get back to you. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time. Have fun with the Bloom and Zoom. Bye bye.